So before we can put a Wii inside a toaster, we have to disassemble the Wii and see what we're working with. I've taken one of these apart before, but it's been quite a while, several years at least. One of the reasons I'm doing this is it's been a pretty popular thing on the internet for the past several years about putting game consoles inside of a toaster. And I've never seen anybody do it with the Wii. And I have 3 of these now, mainly because I picked this one up for $9.99. Super excited about that too. I love saving money. So it's not really a big loss if it breaks or whatever. This will be soft modded as well, so if this doesn't work with the disk drive or whatever, I can still plug USB up to it and play with it without the disk drive. But the goal is to include the disk drive. So before we get started, we need to get tin for the screws. I have, this one's already full. So this project is for something I didn't record. Scrap the whole thing. All of it's in the trash. So I don't need these screws anymore. So if we get the extra 10, which has plenty of screws in it, and now a nice new 10. Alright. So one of the bigger problems with opening the Wii up is a lot of the screws are with the tri-wing bit. It's this little 3-sided guy here. I'll turn on the side of the light so you can see it a little better. Let me see if that still looks good. Yeah, cool. And we'll give it a little more light over here too. Well, my lamp's gonna stop working. Okay, whatever. I guess we won't use that lamp. Maybe I'll include that on the Fix It Friday. I'm completely joking. I'm not gonna make an episode about changing the light bulb in a lamp. I'm not that bad, I guess. I got some feet that come off. Hate these little feet on this thing. So stubborn. There we go. And those are also tri-wings, so I might have actually taken this one apart before because these are actually labeled with a Sharpie, and that is something that I would do since there's multiple types of screws in here. Okay, there's nothing under that one, so we don't need it. And let's check this one. Oh, I just broke that foot. Let's not do that one. Okay. So that's those 2 out of the way. Let's see, there's a couple screws here too that are Phillips head when you get those out as well. I think these actually had covers over them at one point, but they don't anymore. Looks like there's another tri-wing under this cap here. Yeah, this is the cap I was talking about. There's a little cap that goes over them. And that's a tri-wing bit. One of the reasons I've marked them is the tri-wing bits actually have a different thread pitch than the other ones do, so they won't screw into the holes. This is the battery, which is easily user accessible. Takes a 2032, keeps all your dates and times and stuff set when you unplug it. There's another tri-wing there. If I remember right, it really doesn't like turning on with that battery removed too. So we have to make sure we accommodate for that when we get this thing back together. This little shroud here has to come off. I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet. with the shroud because it's definitely longer than the opening on the toaster with the memory card slots on it. So let's see. So it looks like we'll be able to get at least the Gamecube ports out, but I don't want to lose the cartridge slots, so I'm really not equipped here to cut the metal out to make holes for that, so we might have to actually move those probably to the back panel. We got a nice big back panel here we're going to be cutting open anyway to get the video outputs out, so we can probably do that while we're in there. Okay. Aha. There are more screws here. A couple of tri-wings. And another Phillips. I remember first time I took one of these things apart, it was so weird to me that they used alternating patterns on the screws. Like some are Phillips and some are tri-wing, and just kind of back and forth and back and forth. There's no real logic to it. I'm sure there's a reason for it. It's probably to do with the material it's screwing into. Like the tri-wings are probably going into plastic, and the smaller Phillips screws are going into like metal because it's better threaded. Okay, so there's the front panel off. Let's not break that. So there's what the front panel removed. I do want to try and salvage this to put into the new build because there is an LED here with like LED messaging and pulsing and that kind of thing. And it's pretty cool. Alright, so there's a better look at the front panel. Do need to go get this SD card out of here. Fun fact, when modding the Wii, you really need to get a 2 gig SD card. The Wii does support SDHC memory to do up to the 32 gigs, but for some reason the mod will not work if you use anything bigger than 2 gig. They may have changed that since I did this a couple years ago, but I remember that being a pretty big problem. I actually had to go and spend, I think it was like $15 to $20 on a 2 gig SD card when you could buy like an 8 gig for the same price. It was upsetting because I'm cheap. Alright, I did get both those screws out. Alright, so we should be able to come apart now. Get the shell off here. Looks like it's trying to catch in different places on each side. So we'll get a little pry here. There we go. Yeah, this metal shielding inside was not coming up on one side, it was coming up on the other, and it just kind of got snagged in there. Another important note, do not lose your dust filter. So the dust filter for the intake here, that's on this side. You actually can't change it from the outside, but if you don't do this, your Wii will be very, very nasty and dusty on the inside the next time you go back into it. Basically, it's got one exhaust fan here, and it sucks air in from the side, and all of the air comes out the back here. So it basically just makes a big negative pressure zone and sucks all the air out. So that's the inside. That's what we're working with. Let me see if I can get this back piece of the shell off too. I don't remember if that... Okay, we're not going to do that. It does screw to the board here. But let's try and get the disk drive out, because the disk drive will probably be one of the more difficult things to actually get mounted once we get to that point. I don't think I'm going to get to that today. I just want to get this thing mostly disassembled and kind of get a feel for the dimensions of it. Do I need to start a new pile for internal bolts? Let's inside there will be fine. Okay. Oh, look, there's a game in here. We've got a Lego Indiana Jones. Probably should have checked that before I started this. Not sure that we can do this easily. Alright, so here we go. It's ejecting in slow motion. Oh, that's so exciting. I just tried to pull the disc out and it's not going to come out, so we're actually going to have to go until this thing is... There we go. And no scratches, good. Just leave it over there for now. Okay, so now we can just put this back on. We don't actually need to take that off now, apparently. Because I don't want to take the drive apart. I want the drive to function like it should normally. I think these guys are what actually holds this whole drive assembly in. So, also it is good to see how the drive works. So it actually will work in the configuration I want to put it in, which will be vertical. Ideally coming out of the top slot of the toaster, like, so you'll be putting the disc in like you would toast, or bread I should say. You don't put toast in the toaster, you get toast out of the toaster. Yeah, irrelevant information. Okay, so let's put this guy here. Yeah, this is this screw over here. This guy is the one we need. And this one here. I think that's going to be our, yeah, hold down for the drive. I don't see anything else holding it in. There's definitely some kind of tension on the front there. I don't want to pull it too hard because I might break it. But aha! So there are two more screws hidden inside here that we need to get. I actually couldn't see those with the disc in there, so we did need to see the disc out. Alright, we've got a cable grabbing here. So there's a cable and a ribbon cable. So we get the bigger cable first. The ribbon cable just pulls right out. So this is going to be our disk drive to mount. And that should be fine with the toaster because it will almost exactly fit in there. And I did check before I bought this, and you can actually get discs in and out of here, so mounting it will be another story, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. That will not be tonight. So, Gamecube ports. I've removed Gamecube ports before, but not from a Wii. So I think what we're going to do is take these ports, desolder them, get some shielded cable, and move them up to a new mounting point. Maybe get some like breadboard I don't think I have any out that I can show you. Basically, it's just a piece of fiberboard with holes drilled in it that we can mount these two, so they're actually in the same plane. They're all arranged properly, and we'll make sure that they line up with this shroud because it'll look a lot nicer that way. And then the memory card slot, probably the same thing. We'll desolder that and relocate it to the back, but it's pretty close to the back already, so that shouldn't be too hard. Got our wireless antennas here. Those shouldn't be hard to just keep where they are. So more or less, this is just going to mount inside of here like this. If we can actually get that to mount inside, we can just cut out the sections in the back panel over here, mount this over here, and then it's just a matter of rotating the drive vertical instead of horizontal. And this may actually not be as hard as I was making it out to be, and that would be pretty sweet. But I'll have to do a lot more digging into the toaster to see what we need to do there. So if I can do that, it's literally just a matter of either buying a GameCube card to leave in this, or relocate the ports, or just not worry about it. That's always an option. And then I think it's going to be too far back though. So if you look at where the ports line up with the slot, it's going to put this at way past the edge. So close, but not quite. But at least we won't have to move them far. It's just going to be out and over a smidge. And the same with the drive. So that's where we're going. I'm not going to fiddle with this much more tonight because it's actually pretty late, and I've got to work in the morning. So just a quick preview. This is where we're going. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's probably going to be, I'm not even going to guess how long this is going to take or how many videos this is going to be, but I just want to bring you guys along for the ride. I didn't have this capability when I did my N64 mods to make the N64 Pi, or when I made the Millennium Falcon with the N64 inside of it. I didn't have the capability of recording this or uploading it so that I could share it with you. I did take some pictures along the way for both of those, and they're on my blog, which is down in the video description. But I think it'd be a lot more fun if we can just kind of do it together, you know? It'd be interesting. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you like the concept, give me a thumbs up, hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. If there's any questions or concerns you have, let me know in the comment section down below, and we will, I always like getting comments. I can always reply to these things. If you have any suggestions of how we can cut this out cleanly, I would love to hear them. I'm not great with cutting through plastic with the tools that I have, so if you guys have any experience cutting through plastic with other than using like heated knives or terrible drill bits, let me know, because I am not opposed to buying some new tools to get this job done. So that being said, I'll see you guys next time.